What's going on, guys? Talon back here, and today I've got a characters tip video for Overwatch about the character Genji. He is my favorite assault type character, if you will. So I'm going to first go into his abilities, kind of how he plays, and then some general tips on what I have found personally so far. I am by no means the best when it comes to Genji. I definitely get my ass handed to me depending on who I come against. But at the same time, there have been some clips where hopefully you'll be seeing in this video here where it's just like, I don't know how I survived, but all right, I'm taking names and everything. So let's get right into it. So first, his very first basic ability is the cyber agility that he has. This allows him to climb walls and perform jumps in midair, or as we all call in today, modern age, a double jump. So that's always really cool. He's one of the few characters that have it, so definitely take advantage of that. Next is his shurikens that he throws, basically his bullets that he can throw essentially. He throws 3 in a row. If you are clicking the left click on your mouse, or whatever fire would be on the consoles. And then his alternative fire is to throw all 3 at once, and he holds 24, I believe, and then he has to like reload it into his arm and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. So he's all cyber robotic and everything, so that's pretty cool. Next is his deflect ability, where this is really good for when you retreat actually, but you can deflect bullets and stuff back at your opponents, and if they're weak enough or if they're close enough and you deflect enough of them, you can take them out. So that is always very handy. I forget to use it a lot, unfortunately, so I've got to get better at doing that. So next is going to be his swift strike. That is essentially where he lunges forward with his sword, and he will hit the opponent. It's really good for actually getting behind them, so I'll get into that in a bit. But that's always really good. So, and if you take someone out when you use this, you get it back instantly. So definitely something to look forward to right there. And then finally, his ultimate ability is going to be the Dragon Blade. This is basically where he takes out his actual katana, and you have to use the fire button to slice. You don't use the melee button. I've done that before and it won't work. So when you do that, though, you get to deliver some pretty cool blows to the opponents, and if they're really in close around you and you've got like 3 of them, you can just kind of slice around for about 5 seconds and kill them all. It's really cool. So but overall, some general tips that I find with him is, first would be, again, using his double jump. He can climb up and grab on the ledges, and it's really handy, especially for maybe getting those high vantage points that a lot of other characters can't get to. So that's pretty handy. It's also just good for escaping if you're kind of running away and you've got to double jump over a wall or something, or maybe some guy's trying to, blast into you or something, and you can double jump over them and then hit them from behind. That's also really helpful. So always try to remember to just double jump everywhere that you can. So next would be flank when you can. You're a ninja, samurai, whatever you want to call them. Yes, I do know this difference. I live here in Japan. But flank when you can. He's silent, he's deadly. Get around him, throw some shurikens at their back, at their head. You're gonna take him out no problem. So that's definitely always something to try and do. Next, like I stated before, is to use the shurikens at a distance. Try not to get in too close, otherwise you're gonna get your face pounded in. I'm sorry, it's happened to me tons of times. So try to hit those guys at a distance. If you know they're low on health though, and maybe you go in for a sword swipe and then you throw some shurikens to finish them off, very cool. Don't forget you can also throw all 3 at once, so that's always very handy. So definitely keep that in mind. Deflect when retreating. Once again, I forget to do this all the time, but deflect will help you so much, especially when retreating, or if you're trying to maybe run onto an objective, you see one guy, then you start deflecting it right away, then you're all pretty good to go. So next would be to try to attack from a distance with the shurikens and close combat with the melee. Don't try to do the opposite of that. If you're trying to do close quarters with the melee, or close quarters with the shurikens, but long distance with the melee somehow, you're not thinking right. So try not to do that. I find him most, though, and this is a pretty big tip right here, I find him to be at a disadvantage when going against a bunch of players unless you activate your ultimate. Trying to take out a bunch of enemies at once, especially if you've got a tank character in there, he's not going to fare very well, and you're just going to get your head taken off. So definitely be careful of that. So And like before, this will be updated. This is only for the beta right now. I know a lot will change when the actual game comes out. So we'll kind of call this the beta tips, I guess, for right now. I'll do a better one when the full game comes out, and, you know, if there's little things that get changed, that's fine, but overall it should be the same character once the actual game is released. So I hope you guys found this little tips here helpful. I'm still trying to play around with him. He's definitely kind of one of those much harder characters, in my opinion, at least, to get used to. So let me know what you guys think if you've tried them out. Let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like if you liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.